All right, at this point in time, you should have watched the video on value and shading that I posted to my teacher page. Now I'm going to show you how to use your value and your shading on your ribbons. You're going to start right here. This is a twist. You're going to start right there where that ribbon bends, and it is a point. And you're going to work your way towards the middle. And as you get closer to the middle, you're going to get lighter and lighter. That means you're going to use a little bit less pressure each time. All right, and go slow. We don't do this quickly because you don't necessarily want to see the pencil strokes that you're making. We want this to be a very gradual change in color. So it's going to very gradually go from dark to light. Now, because I am not using a ton of pressure, I can always go back and add more. Now, if you see right here, you'll notice that I got a little dark right there. If you ever do that, you just dab it like that with your eraser. All right, just dab it with your eraser, and that will help pick some of that up. All right, and you go back in, you start working a little bit more. I try not to sharpen my pencil in the middle of doing any kind of shading, because when you get that really sharp tip, it's going to be really hard to just be very light. And if you're at this stage, it's going to go down a lot darker than you want it to go down. So if you need to sharpen your pencil because your pencil is just too dull at this point in time, what I recommend you doing is going back here and starting here to just dull your pencil up a little bit. This is dull. You guys probably would hate this point, but this is actually a very good way to have your pencil. That's a good point for this, creating this value. All right, here's the other side of my twist, and I'm going to come out and do the same thing here. I'm not going to complete this anymore because I want to show you a fold real quick. All right, we're going to work on a fold real fast. Here's a fold right here. And what I want you to do with this fold is I want you to start on this side. This is the underside. And right here, right along this edge of the top side of the ribbon is going to be very dark, because when a ribbon folds over, it creates a shadow. So the underside of this is creating a shadow here. It's casting a shadow. Now that's not quite as dark as I'd like it, so I'm going to go over and make it a little bit darker. I am not leaning on anything, because if I had too many pieces of paper under this, I wouldn't be able to get this as dark. It would be too soft, all right? So if you work on the desk surface, that's the best thing to do. I'm going to go in and make it a little bit darker. Now, this is about as dark as this number 2 pencil is going to get. Number 2 pencil is right in the middle of graphite pencil. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. So, soft leads put down a lot of graphite and they get really dark. Hard leads don't get very dark, okay? They're very light. So, when you get to that stage in middle school and high school, when you have different types of leaded pencils, different varying degrees of softness, you'll start to see that a little bit more, and I will show you that at a later date. But for now, you're just going to use your pencils, all right? If you have colored pencils, if you have brought them, you may use them. You do the same exact thing. It's the same idea, it's just with a colored pencil, all right? If you do not have your colored pencils, you need to do this in pencil. You may not borrow colored pencils. This needs to be done in pencil, because you will not be sitting next to the same person next week, because I assign your seats every week. They change every week. All right, so this is the bottom fold. The top fold is a little bit different. Pay attention, because this is a little tricky. You're going to have it dark right here, but I'm going to leave a little bit of a sliver here, and I'm just going to make it very light gray. See that? Just like that, very light gray. because that's actually a highlight because the light is hitting that. And then I'm going to get dark right next to it, okay? I don't get dark right away because I want it to be darker over here on this side. Okay. And you see it creates that edge of that ribbon right there. See that? There's a nice little edge of the ribbon right there. And it's a little highlight where the light hits it. And now this side, I'm going to get lighter a lot faster because a lot more of the light is hitting this side of the ribbon. Now, for those of you who have one ribbon that is going under your other ribbons, you need to pay attention to this next part, because if you look right here, this ribbon is under this one, which means this top ribbon is going to create a little bit of a shadow down here. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and create my shading. But over here, when I get over here, I'm going to make it actually just a little bit darker. Just a little bit darker. And then it's going to blend into that, all right? To create that shadow from this ribbon right here. See that? All right, now I'm going to finish this so that you can see it in class. But I want you to go ahead and start working on your ribbons now.